The third way I'll talk about that self-efficacy can be improved is through social encouragement and interaction. And so this is, think about you're running a race and people are cheering you on. I think of the old movie Rudy. Rudy, yeah. So I think of that, and we actually do increase in self-efficacy when we have people that believe in us. And I think it may be a little more heartfelt when somebody that we know and trust pulls us aside and says, I believe in you. You've got this. That's another way that self-efficacy really improves, as though we may not have done it before successfully. We may not have seen somebody else do it successfully. Or we may have those two things, but also just hearing somebody, a crowd or an individual just saying, I believe in you, that you can do this, that can really boost our confidence, our self-efficacy in this situation. And the final thing, the fourth thing that Bandura talked about, which is a little bit more abstract, is our physiological sensations. And those are all subjective. They're open to interpretation. So when I get the warm tinglies before I do an oral presentation, for instance, it's all about how I interpret that physiological sensation. Do I interpret it as, man, I'm so nervous, I can't do this, or I'm nervous, I'm excited, this is how it should be, I'm ready. And the body will give us signs and sort of tell us when we're headed in the right direction, and it's all about how we interpret those. So you can, to some extent, choose how you interpret those sort of subjective physiological symptoms and sensations and say, you know what, I'm going to take that as a good sign, I'm ready. Of course, I'm supposed to be a little anxious. I'll talk later about how just a moderate amount of anxiety or stress, a moderate amount actually improves overall performance. Without a little bit of anxiety and performance, for our performance, a little bit of anxiety or stress, without a little bit of angst about doing it and how well we'll do, then we're not going to perform to our optimal level. If we have too much anxiety and stress, then we're going to shut down. Too little, though, and we're not even motivated to do it. That's a good sign, often physiologically, that our body's not excited about doing this. Otherwise, we would feel some anxiety and some stress. It's got to be something you care about. And so it's sort of it's an arc to where too little is not enough, and then too much stress and anxiety is going to shut you down and not allow you to perform. But sort of there's this sweet spot, this middle zone where anxiety is up there and you're excited and you're a little bit nervous, but you can do this. And I will say that to all of you right now. You can do this. One of my favorite theories of motivation is called Expectancy Value Theory. And I talked about a lot of the expectancy. That's that self-efficacy or confidence in specific things, specific tasks or projects or things that we want to do. And so expectancy has to be high for us to be motivated. We have to believe we can succeed. But the other thing is we have to really care about it. We have to value it. If we don't value it, why would we try? If we don't value it, we're not going to have any of that anxiety and stress. And that's a good sign we're not motivated. So we kind of look at it as a multiplication problem. So what's your level of expectancy that you can succeed? Let's multiply that by how much you value it. And it's rather abstract and subjective, but if those two things are elevated, your expectancy that you can succeed and your value of actually succeeding, that you care about succeeding, then that's going to reach optimal performance for you. If you don't value it, but you know I can make an A in that class, but I don't really care about that subject, then you're not going to be motivated. If you really care about that subject but you just have zero confidence, you're not going to be motivated. You'd rather opt out. So it's when both your expectancy and your value are high that you're going to get optimal performance. That's what I want for each and every one of you, is to start understanding the things in your life that are affecting your motivation. Once you set your goals, you can actually start taking steps to get to them and to have strategies in place. But in order to take advantage of those strategies, to be volitional or motivated to actually make that vision come to pass. That's what I want for all of you.